Hey, what's up, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with a Switch Gaming My 2 Cent video where I take a look at several stories that came out this week and give you my opinion. So why don't we start with the first one? And the first one has to do with the game NieR Automata, if I'm saying the name correctly, that recently basically has done not only sales-wise well, but it may have helped Platinum itself, though. From a post on an article posted on Push Square, and again, I'll have a link in the description below. You can check out in the description. It points out that, basically points out a comment made by Hideo Kamiya, who believes that this game may have single-handedly saved the studio. Normally, I can't help but do everything by myself. It's a pitiful story, but I have to say, Yoko-san Save Platinum would not have been extravagant, if I said that correctly, and I cannot thank him enough, though. Basically, according to what Platinum is saying, they feel that thanks to the success of NieR Automata and the creator, let's see if I can look it up again. Where is that? Here's that creator right here. Hold it. Looking him up. It basically is Yoko Taro, Taro. Basically, as most people know, the first NieR game that came out on the PS3 unfortunately did not perform well, and it basically killed off the studio. Cav, C-A-V-I-A. But with the sequel, however, it appears as though it had a sort of a reverse effect. Then apparently it did well, and quite frankly, I'm glad that the game did perform well. I'm glad that the game was not only a success, but I'm glad it saved Platinum, because I'm a big fan of Platinum. I love a lot of the games they have put out, though. I remember the first game I played to them from the 2009 release on the Nintendo Wii, Mad World, a personal favorite of mine. Would love to see a port of that on the Switch or a sequel. And of course, several of their other games, Vanquish, Bayonetta, which is my personal favorite, and not only that, we got Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2. Here's to hoping Bayonetta 3 eventually happens, though. But lately, I mean, Platinum Games has also had run into some trouble. A lot of the games that they made that are critically acclaimed and enjoyed by a lot of people, enjoyed by a lot of people, have not sold as well as a lot of people had hoped for, and especially last year, where Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant in Manhattan didn't get a lot of good response, though. Star Fox Zero unfortunately did not perform well, although I think some of the blame's on Nintendo and their decision to force motion controls on its game that really did not need it, and it came off as basically they were desperate to do something with the gamepad for the Wii U. And of course, last but certainly not least, the fact that Scalebound was canceled. So Platinum has hit some rough spots, but it appears as though, thanks to the success of NieR Automata, Platinum has certainly helped to save Platinum, and I think that's a good thing. I love Platinum Games. I really hope that this is a turnaround for them. And with the success of this game, there have been rumors about the possibility, or basically the series creator claiming that he will do a remake of the first one if that happens. And based on the stories of hearing the game sell very well, it seems as though hopefully it will happen. As for Platinum, I hope this is a bright road up ahead for them. Hopefully the troubles in the past are no longer in the past, though. Hopefully this means that people who have never played a Platinum game before, after trying out this game, will basically try out maybe some of the other games that Platinum has done. So overall, great, really good that the game did well. Really great that Platinum, basically this helped Platinum, so that's good. And as for me, I played the game. I really enjoyed it. I did a review of it. I'll have a link in the description. You can check it out. So overall, very good news all around. good that this game did well, good that Platinum did well, and hopefully we'll see more of this game down the road, though. Let's see. Alright. Okay, we're going to take a bit of a break, and when we come back, I'm going to be taking a look at the Senran Kagura series, and apparently the sales number came out, and quite frankly, it's been certainly doing well. So we'll take a bit of a break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our video, and for the second part we're going to be taking a look at a bit of news regarding the Senran Kagura series. For those who are not familiar with that series, although I'm pretty sure a lot of you have, basically it is basically been a series of games, mostly hack and slash type of games, in which, well, let's just say TNA are basically the big selling point. If you type it in and look it up, look at some of the pictures, you'll see why. Well, regardless of whether you love or hate the series, apparently the series is doing very well. From a post on GameBreakingNews.net, again, link in the description, it points out that the series creator shared on Twitter that the series has sold a total of 1.65 million copies worldwide. He also mentioned that he initially did not expect the game to sell more than $30,000. 30,000 units though have been sold, but apparently it is doing well. Other games from Marvelous, which Senran Kagura is part of, is it points out that the new Fate Extella game for the PS4 and Vita, the Switch version recently just came out, and it's not part of their sales number, seems to be doing very well. And Senran Kagura Estetaverse, if I'm saying the name correctly, for PC has performed strongly. Has performed strongly as well too. So overall, it seems as though the Senran Kagura series is doing really good. Whether or not it's the main selling point, which is TNA, the fan service, or people buying it just to, and I quote, stick it to SJWs, for whatever reason, the series is doing good. And this is not bad for a niche game and all. And I have played the games before, including one I did a review on. I'll have a link in the description for that one. And they're fun hack and slash type of games. I mean, story-wise, hit and miss for me. And obviously, we know what the main selling point of the series has been. But it's great that if I could get it, it's great that a series like this is selling very well, though, and it looks like fans are basically responding to it very positively, though. What's next for the series? I think the next one is the third-person shooter one. I think Beach Splash or something like that. Apologize if I'm saying the name wrong. And it's one I will try out myself, and it will be and of course there's the one coming to the Nintendo Switch, which according from what we understand involves you, and I quote, feeling and touching the girls and using the HD rumble, which I think we all know where that one's headed though. But overall, it seems as though the series is doing very well, and I think that's good. I would like to see more of these games, though. Again, I know it's not going to appeal to a lot of people, but overall, I am very happy that this series in general is doing very well. So, kudos to the developers. Hopefully, we'll see more Senran Kagura series games, though, maybe for the PS4. Hopefully we'll see more than the one that they announced for the Nintendo Switch. That would be nice. Hey, they brought the Fate Extella game to the Switch, and from what I understand, that's doing well as well, both on the PS4 and Vita. And although they didn't mention the sales, like I said, they didn't mention the sales number for the Switch because that one just recently came out. But hopefully we'll see more. But overall, good, very good that Senran Kagura is doing very well. Okay, we're going to take a bit of a break, and when we come back, I'm going to be talking about Disgaea 5 and the sales numbers for the Nintendo Switch. In case you're asking for a pattern, this My 2 Cent basically focuses on a lot of the sales numbers that just recently came out, and how well that did. So, we're going to take a bit of a break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 3 of our video, and for this one we're going to be taking a look at the sales numbers that was recently announced by NIS America over Disgaea 5 Complete Edition, or Complete, as I have right here, for the Nintendo Switch. And while the numbers may not be as big as Senran Kagura, though, according to NIS America, they seem to be very pleased with these numbers. From a post on Nintendo Life, it basically says that basically they have reported that the sales of the game has passed 100,000 units worldwide, although the game never cracked the top 20 in the media create charts in Japan. It seems a decent portion of those sales would have been gamers in North America and PAL territories, though. So obviously they're referring to as Europe. So it appears as though the game, that a lot of those sales numbers came from Europe and America and not from Japan. Now, I play the game though, and I actually enjoy it. Despite, I love the 2D art style, I love the quirky story with a little bit of fan service here and there, and the strategy element was fun though. So it was a fun and good game indeed though. And while the numbers aren't as high as, you know, what Senran Kagura was, where, let me get that up, where their numbers were set at 1.65 million units worldwide. Of course, that's referring to the whole series and a game as a whole compared to this one. Still, obviously, if this is true, and this is the sort of the goal that NIS America set for Disgaea 5 Complete for the Switch, still that's got to be some pretty good numbers. I am hoping that with the success of this game, we'll see more support from NIS America, although I heard they're bringing some more games over. And hopefully this means we could see more entries into the Disgaea series. Maybe we'll get a remake of maybe the first 4 coming over to Nintendo Switch. That would be nice if they do that. And who knows, maybe a Disgaea 6 will come to maybe not only the PS4, but also the Nintendo Switch as well. And hopefully this could be a good sign for third-party developers, although it depends on how they set their expectations though. Clearly, NIS America set their expectation and it met their expectation. Hopefully we'll see more developers and more developer support for the Switch, particularly third-party developers, maybe more Japanese third-party developers. And I will say, this is a kind of game that could fit the Switch very well. A lot of these like RPG type games, because of the benefit of what the Switch is, which is basically a console handheld hybrid, the console you could take with you on the go. So overall, good that the game sold well though. Maybe not as much as the Senran Kagura, which is off by a lot, but if this was the goal set by NIS America of 100,000 units sold, then obviously they met their goal. I think it's a little bit more than that, but obviously if that was their goal, then good. I'm very glad the game did very well. Hopefully we'll see more entries of the series on the Nintendo Switch down the road, and hopefully we'll see more support from NIS America. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back we'll get to our last and final part of this My 2 Cent video, and that is a look at the sales numbers, or look at the NPD sales, in which basically the Switch actually may have done well in July. So we'll take a bit of a break and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with the 4th and final part of our My 2 Cent video for this week. Most of it has been based on sales numbers that have recently came out this week. And for this one, we're going to be looking at a report by NPD, covered by other sites as well, is the fact that apparently Nintendo Switch was the winner of July last month. From a report from VentureBeat, again I'll have a link in the description below, it points out that in terms of the winner of July, so it points out that Nintendo was the big winner last month, with Splatoon.to, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Mario Kart 8 all in the top 10. Splatoon.to was the highest anticipated sequel and a Nintendo Switch exclusive though. It also pointed out, however, that Injustice 2 and Tekken 7 did very well, including in terms of overall softwares. Basically, it has Tekken ranked at number 20, while, let me see, Injustice is ranked at number 6. As far as the top 5 goes, it points to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age at number 4. I'm glad that game's getting attention. Number 3, Grand Theft Auto 5, which amazes me that game is still selling, even after being out for God knows so many years, for crying out loud. Number 2, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I'm very happy that game is doing very well. It's nice to see that Crash is getting the attention he's getting this time around, and hopefully this will mean more Crash games. And of course, overall, number 1 is Splatoon.to, selling very well, with Mario Kart 8 at number 7 and ARMS at number 17. So that's not bad. As far as other software sales, it points to, on the Xbox One, it appears to be only Forza Horizon 3 at number 8 was the best selling, at least as far as first party games go. Overall, it's basically mostly third party support, which with Grand Theft Auto 5, Injustice, Overwatch, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, and Wildlands. As far as the PlayStation 4 goes, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, on terms of PlayStation 4 software sales, was at number 1, with, of course, MBL 17 The Show at number 5, and Horizon Zero Dawn at number 7, both first-party games, so glad that that sold well. As far as the Switch overall, in terms of sales number for them, surprisingly, 1-2 Switch is at number 5, that's still standing there. Ultra Street Fighter 2 The Final Challenger is at number 6. Lego City Undercover at number 7, and of course this one, Fate Excel, the Umbrella Star, a game I did a review on the PS4 and just showed up some gameplay footage of the Switch version. That got in at number 9, so obviously that did well. And finally, in terms of the 3DS though, obviously Pokemon Sun is doing well. Hey Pigma got in at number 6. And as far as the best-selling game so far in 2017, it appears to be that Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands is at number 1, with Breath of the Wild at number 2. Horizon Zero Dawn is hanging in there at number 5. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is at number 8. Grand Theft Auto 5 at number 4, which that's still pretty amazing though. And finally, as far as hardware and accessories, according to this article, it points out that the Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation 4 made up the bulk of hardware sales of July. Splatoon 2 was the big reason for the Switch continued success last month though. As far as accessories though, it says while accessories were down in June, the sector grew 9% in July. Gamepads likely drove this since interactive game toys are still down. Accessories for the Nintendo Switch and surprisingly Microsoft Xbox One drove spending growth. So overall for the Switch, it seems to be still doing very, very well, which is pretty good. And obviously a lot of the games they put out have done well. Splatoon 2, I'm very happy it's done well. I enjoy the game. I have some issues with some of the decisions, but overall that's good. I'm glad Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is doing well, even though that was a port of a Wii game. The Fate game is doing surprisingly very well on that list, so that's very nice. Obviously there is an audience for those type of games. I played it on the Switch, it's really good. And the fact that ARMS is doing very well, that's really neat. So overall, the Switch is doing very well, and that's really, really good. Obviously, this is way better than compared to what the situation with the Wii U is. Now, whether or not Nintendo can contain that momentum or not remains to be seen. And don't get me wrong, there is still the big elephant in the room, which is mostly third-party support. That's going to be the big thing. While I don't expect we're going to get every game from a third-party support, my big concern, of course, is always going to be the dreaded drought. One of the biggest problems I had with the Wii U was the long wait for a lot of these games, and unfortunately that was one of the big problems. So hopefully Nintendo addresses some of those problems. But overall, it seems as though the Switch is doing very well. PS4, not far behind. That's doing very well. I'm glad that Horizon Zero Dawn is on that list. It still is a good selling game. I really enjoyed that game as well. So overall, very good for the Switch. Like I said, but like I said, really, really good for the Nintendo Switch. I'm glad it's doing well. I enjoyed the system too. I like the idea and the concept, and hopefully the sales number continue for it, and hopefully we'll get that third-party support, and hopefully people will still continue to buy the system. Nintendo just has to address the supply and demand situation. Hopefully they'll address, I'm hoping that they can get things under control by the time Super Mario Odyssey comes out, which I believe that's in October. I could be wrong, I may have to double check that, but hopefully they'll get that solved, because Super Mario Odyssey I think is going to be a heavy hitter for them for the holidays, so we'll have to wait and see. But overall, good for Nintendo. Good that the Switch is doing extraordinarily well. Okay, this concludes this My 2 Cent video for this week. And again, these are my opinion, but what are yours though? What do you thought about, let's see if I can get my notes up here. What you thought about NieR Automata? Have you played the game? Have you not played the game? Are you happy the game is doing very well? Are you enjoying the game though? Are you pleased that it helped save Platinum? And what about the sales number for Senran Kagura though? Are you happy the series is doing very well? Do you care? Do you not care? Disgaea 5. Were you one of the people who picked up Disgaea 5 complete for the Nintendo Switch? Have you enjoyed it? Have you not enjoyed it? Do you think these are good sales numbers? Do you think these are not good sales numbers? Do you think they could have done better? Do you think they could have sold more if the supply and demand situation for the Switch was better or not? And what about the NPT sales for July? Are you happy the Switch is selling very well? Do you think there's areas that Nintendo could improve upon? Do you agree with this video? Do you disagree? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And I hope you hit that like button. I would appreciate it. And also, I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to. And feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You can do it through PayPal Me or through Patreon. The links will be in the description of this video. It's evening soon, so I'll be getting ready for bed soon. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that will be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good evening. Bye!